Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I would like to call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I need a motion to accept the agenda.
So move.
I have a motion from Trustee Shola Barber. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second from Vice Chair Hill. Trustee Johnson. Trustee Shola Barber. Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Payton.
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
And I say yes. Secretary McGlynn, will you please take attendance?
All trustees are present, and so is Dr. Slade.
Miss Coney, looks like we have some smiling faces in the house. Who's here to see us?
Yes, tonight we have both a group from elementary and some high school students joining us. And we'll begin with our elementary students from Washington Writers Academy. And I'd like to bring up their principal, Dr. Magaji.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Slade. My name is Dr. Amir Magaji. I'm the principal of Washington Writers Academy, and we are very proud and excited to honor and recognize a few of our students this evening. All of them have increased their achievement in reading and are all on track. So we'd like to start with Nalea Bird. She is a fourth grade student at Washington. Her teacher is Mrs. Harrison.
So proud of you.
Ajon Carver Turner is a fourth grade student at Washington Writers Academy. Her teacher is T. Murray. Leon Cloplin is a fourth grade student at Washington Writers Academy. His teacher is Mrs. Harrison. Capra Fahim Glossinger is a fifth grade student at Washington. Her teacher is Mrs. Spade. Mia Gallardo is a fifth grade student at Washington. Her teacher is Mrs. Spade. Ileana Jenne is a second grade student at Washington. Her teacher is Miss Ryder Hill. They all worked really hard this year, and we're very proud of them. Thank you.
Our next recognition, we have several groups of student athletes from Loy Norrix High School, and their principal, Mr. Aganaga, will introduce us to them.
Good evening, everybody. President Harrison, Dr. Slade, trustees of the Board of Education. I'm Chris Aganaga, the very proud principal of Norrix High School, and we're here to take 3 bites at the apple, celebrating 3 different groups of students. So we're going to start off with our men's varsity basketball program, which was a district champion this year. And to introduce our players, and I'm going to call up varsity basketball coach, Coach Rodney Manning.
It's a pretty good year. Lots of great young men. Some of them weren't able to be with us tonight due to sports and other things going on. We'll acknowledge the young men who did make it. First on that list is Mr. Sam Gaggy. Next we have Damari Lawler. Thank you. Last for tonight, Chris McKinney. Go through the names of those who were not able to make it. We have Demetrius Bennett, Keon Berry Peak, William Bledsoe, Corday Gordon, Shakari Lipsy, Khalil Mays, Javante Smith, Corey Stanfield, and Tamar Stewart. Thank you very much.
All right, the next sport, which again, beautiful weather and spring sports in full effect, does take a toll on sometimes attendance. But I do want to recognize unable to be here for our men's skiing team, Lucas Butendorp, who was a state qualifier in skiing, very accomplished young man, and we still have a couple more years with him at Norrix. So we will get him in front of you, I'm sure, at some point in the future. Okay, and our third team that we would like to recognize is our last board meeting. You saw our women's swimming and diving team. Well, the pool at Loy Norrix creates some champions. So I want to introduce Coach Morgan Kenbeek for our varsity men's swimming and diving program. Coach Morgan. And also assistant coach Tony Doherty is with him.
All right, we thank you for allowing us to be here today to represent these amazing young men. So we'll get started. First off with Andrew Bowl. Next, we have Oscar Dunphy. Next, we have Tommy Drum Walsh. Next, we have David Glista. Next is August Johnson. Next is Gavin Lepley. And finally, oh, my apologies. We have Isaac Patrick. Jumped in there. And finally, we have Ian Wesselhoff. This amazing group of young men, they were our 2026 state team. Unfortunately, we had one miss it, but all of these young men did an amazing job and led us not only to a second place conference victory, but also to a 24th place state finish. So it was amazing. We're going to take a photo, so come line up.
That concludes this evening's recognitions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Coney. Secretary McGlynn, do you have correspondence?
Yes, we had 2 emails. On 410, we received an email from Nolan Bergstrom sharing information inviting the board to the Bikes in the Zoo event, and I replied. And on 414, John McNeil requesting information about the district budget posting policies, and I replied.
Thank you. I need a motion to accept the consent calendar items. I have a motion from Trustee Johnson. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second from Trustee Shola Barber. Ms. Kaiser.
Thank you, President Harrison. We have 2 purchase recommendations this evening. The first is request number 2026-43 in the amount of $108,062.50. And this is the purchase balance assessment by Formulative Nuzella, and this is funded from the Instruction Cost Center. Next, we have purchase recommendation 2026-44 in the amount of $350,000, and this is to purchase 918 Nichols Road. This purchase consists of 2 acres of land. It is adjacent to King Westwood Elementary School. This property will allow for future building development, ensuring the school has the capacity for educational program needs. And in addition, it will provide much needed space for additional parking to help ease congestion during drop-off and pickup times, therefore improving overall safety for students and families. Thank you.
Is there discussion from the board? Trustee Payton.
Yeah, I'm going to ask a question. There's a house and it's 2 acres. So what would be the plan for the house eventually?
It would yet to be determined, but that will factor into our planning for the future building needs.
For parking and classrooms?
Exactly.
Oh, Trustee Hill.
I have a question about the assessment by Formative, and I think it's for Mr. Howe. Thank you. So we're changing our our computer program to a different one. We're upgrading. Is there a good, can you let us know why we're doing that?
Is it on now? Yep, there we go. Balanced assessment by formative is a replacement for a product we've used for a long time. That's Illuminate DNA. Illuminate DNA was purchased by another company a couple of years ago, and since that happened, their product support's gone down. The product no longer meets our needs. So, formative by Newzella is a great product. We reviewed several products, and it's going to be a great fit for us and for our kids. So.
Well, thank you for doing that and keeping track of what our students need so that we can always meet their assessment needs.
You bet.
Trustee McGlynn.
Just a comment on the property. When and you can sit down. It's
okay.
not related.
Thanks.
To that. When we have an opportunity like this, as the public knows, we are such very good stewards of our schools, and we are always trying to make sure that they're at a level that meets the needs of our students, and we have very high expectations of that. So when a piece of property like this comes available, that doesn't happen very often, this gives us an opportunity to have some plans that might better that school community. So I'm very supportive of it.
Trustee Shola Barber.
Could you explain a little bit about the growth of the student population around King Westwood and why this would be beneficial to that growth?
Yes, King Westwood is one of our largest elementary schools with a population over 500. They are very tight, as you can imagine, on space, cafeteria, kitchen, classroom, storage, all of that. So this would be very beneficial.
So there's a lot of flexibility in what can be done with this property.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Trustee Shola Barber, we just held a recent community meeting, and during the meeting, at least one person in the meeting stood up and said it would be great if we could expand this parking lot and cafeteria one day because it's a tight fit.
We will have a roll call vote now. Trustee Johnson. Yes. Trustee Shola Barber.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Payton.
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
And I say yes. Next up is reports and recommendations.
Okay, good evening, everyone, board members, President Harris, and community members who are here. Tonight we're going to share out on our behavior-related data. As you know, one of our strategic plan goals is to reduce and maintain a positive district climate. At this point, we're going to have Dr. Dewey, our director of student services, to come up and just talk about our behavior-related data.
Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk with you about some fantastic improvements that we've made over the last 3 years. I think the most notable is to understand that our behavioral data continues to improve. We know that the measurements for behavior include lots of different factors. This slide talks about some of the overall trends we've seen from the 2023-24 school year, 2020 comparisons. The 25-26 data is from the start of year to present, whereas the two previous have additional updates as we finish the year, but there is extremely positive So if you see the slide describes a total incidence, that would be what would be reflected in any kind of office disciplinary referral. For elementary, middle, or high school students, could include a minor incident to anything more significant. And we are looking at a 25% reduction from the last school year and a near 50% reduction in the last 3 years cumulative. This is absolutely substantial. It's we hear from our teachers, our families, our leaders that incidents are significantly down. So not surprised of days where students are suspended from more significant incidents as we think about the we are looking at a significant amount. I think the best visual is the trend over time shows that behavioral incidents are reducing in many different ways. When you think about calculating incidents, suspension days, students suspended, all of those metrics show significant decreases. In proportion, that means higher levels of attendance. There are greater opportunities for students to be engaging in instruction, and we know that that results in increased achievement, which I know Dr. Slade has talked about and will continue to drumbeat around, as well as increased graduation rates. They all flow to show the continued efforts that we maintain very high levels of safety and security and are very strong and positive in all of our buildings, and we celebrate this great success.
And I do want to add, this does not happen by chance, as Dr. Dewey said. I do again want to thank our teachers. Teachers make it happen. Our student support service group, our paraprofessionals, our amazing principals, our partners, community and schools, Griffin Place. So again, and especially our students are listening, they are following our rules. So we wanted to, just look at the gains. So again, I want to thank everyone, including Chief Webster. So again, great work again this year. I want to thank the entire district community.
Discussion from the board. Trustee McGlynn.
First of all, I want to say congratulations. Those are really amazing numbers. I also want to say thank you for this transparency. We're showing data. We're making sure that the public sees this data. And then could you just talk about, because just tamping down, just being strict about discipline isn't going to be the only thing that makes the needle move. Can you talk a little bit about what else we're doing? So yes, we are being tough with our discipline policies, but what else are we doing in the district?
Absolutely. So with any strong level of accountability, making certain that our expectations are crystal clear for students and families and our community, we also have to offer high levels of support. We know that many of our students struggle with past trauma or with mental health challenges, with other environmental factors, and the school district has invested in developing a continuum of mental health supports and behavior support. So that looks like our 31 AA mental health support, where we have hundreds of students that receive therapeutic services in our buildings. It looks like additional staff like clinical social workers, behavior specialists, home support specialists, and parent advocates that work very closely with families when students experience behavioral challenge, which children do because they are still growing, right? They're children, they're learning, they're growing. Sometimes kids make mistakes. And it's all about working with families, trying to identify what are the root causes. Was this a one-time incident, Or is this a pattern of greater challenge that needs more support? So we've got a significant increase in our number of staff that are specifically allocated to supporting behavior for children, and that's in all levels, elementary, middle school, high school. So all of those pieces together, they develop a continuum of what does this support look like, from least intensive to more intensive therapeutic service, or even connection to some of our local community partners.
Trustee Shola Barber.
I'm just going to, my question, I'm just going to congratulate you on the whole system on these fantastic statistics, but also to really be very, very, very enthused about your 360 approach on both ends. So thank you so much.
Trustee Hill.
I'm just going to throw some more sunshine on this. I just want to say outstanding numbers, keeping students accountable and increasing their, I guess it's the principals with the teachers, with the parapros, with everyone working with the student to keep them in school, because that's also making our numbers rise for students in their seats. So thank you.
Trustee Johnson.
I am excited to be on this board in a time like this where we've been able to increase the support, because that's essential, especially dealing with what all is going on in our households currently, and really in America, right? So I'm grateful for that, and I am excited to see the consistency across the board for all of the babies and their parents, and making sure that everybody feels more confident that when their child is being disciplined, there are things that have been done beforehand to ensure that they have the support, but it's up to them to take advantage of it. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope to see a lot continue to change, and I want to see our parents feel more confident in this process.
Trustee Payton.
Thank you for presenting us this data. I would just like for you to talk a little bit, if you can, about what kind of interventions other than suspensions and expulsions and that we use in the schools before we get to that point, because we know that behavior has a great impact on student engagement and student achievement. So what kind of interventions do we have in place before we get to that point?
Absolutely. It's an excellent question. I can say that all of our schools work very hard to consider different kinds of alternatives to suspension, and that there shouldn't be just a cookie cutter approach. We need to consider the needs of a child as well as the needs of the school when we think about assigning discipline. Often there are a plethora of different types of alternatives that we consider, from use of restorative practices, considering restorative justice approaches, to having peer mediation or conflict resolution circles. We think about different types of alternatives where families are engaged in parent meetings, or in really having circles of professionals considered our child study teams as they examine are additional accommodations necessary for a child. Is there a possible disability that could be related to an incident or a behavior that's coming through? And so our schools do an excellent job of trying to come up with lots of different interventions and resources. It's no one's goal to suspend a child and to keep children from school. In fact, quite the opposite. It's the goal to keep students in school, and also to balance the needs of the safety concerns that happen in our buildings so that we maintain safe places.
And just to follow up on that, Trustee Payton, the traditional approach, we do that a lot. We have phone calls. Primarily, teachers will call a parent. If that doesn't improve the situation, this parent may have to come in and meet with the principal. And if that doesn't improve, then it does progress in a lot of cases to a suspension. I do want to, again, just say, and I'm saying the same thing in our community meetings, we will continue our focus on making sure that we do not have that extreme behavior in our building. So we will continue going into next year. If you are involved in like serious fights, extreme disrespect to staff, we will continue with out of school suspensions when needed. So I do want to be very clear about that.
Thank you, Dr. Dewey.
Thank you so much.
A few more slides, Ms. Coney. I know we're having some problems with the technology tonight. We had an amazing ceremony yesterday for our community and schools organization. They sponsored the Champ celebration. We had a few of our staff members recognized. I do want to just point out that the principal award with Mr. Frank Rocco was given an award for all of his service and his dedication to the system. For anybody who knows Mr. Rocco, he goes above and beyond the call of duty every single day to do what's best for students. He volunteers on Saturday. He comes to Saturday school. He comes in his building on the weekend to work with students. So I did just want to make sure we recognize him for his great work. We also had a student recognized, Ms. River Ford. She's a student at Phoenix. She's on the student advisory, and some other staff members who are doing amazing work. And again, I want to thank community and schools for all that they do to support our students and adults in our building. Today we had the Kalamazoo Promise Senior Signing Day. It was at Growler Stadium. I want to thank the Promise for sponsoring this event every year. This is just a celebration. 2 or 3 we have food, fun, games, prizes. I want to thank our principals. Ms. Aganaga was there. Some other principals were there. A lot of great things happening in our district. Again, this is an annual event to celebrate our students who are moving on, in most cases, to college, career, or trade school. We have 2 upcoming community bond meetings just to discuss possibilities for the upcoming bond in 2027. One will be on Monday, April 27th at 6 p.m. at the West Main Professional Development Center. The second one will be on Friday, May 8th at 10 a.m. here at the KPS Administration Building. Again, we're trying to have one in the morning, one in the evening, so everybody can attend and share their input and feedback. We are halfway through our school feedback sessions. I think we've had 4 meetings so far. I want to thank all of our parents, staff members, and community partners who've come out. And the goal for our community feedback sessions, we want to hear from our community. We want to hear from our staff as we plan for next year. 2 basic questions that we always pose: what's going well in the district and what needs to improve. Again, one current theme that you see with our district, we want to be transparent. We want to provide people with a chance to speak their mind and have a voice. So again, we have 4 more meetings upcoming. The next one will be Monday. We have 2 on Monday, May the 4th, 4:30 at K Central, 4:30 at Linden Grove, and 6 p.m. at Northeastern. Then we have another one, 2 more, Wednesday, May the 13th at Millwood, and also at Washington, at Edison Academy. I'm sorry. You share this slide, Ms. Coney.
Thank you, Dr. Slade. As many of you know, the Gilmore Festival is a world-renowned festival that we have here in Kalamazoo. It's now an annual festival, and we have the privilege at our beautiful Chenery Auditorium to host, I believe, 7, including the opening night tomorrow and the finale of the festival. It's on Saturday, May 2nd at 2 p.m. for KPS families. KPS families there's a special code that you can see here, the QR code at the bottom, or you just enter KPS 26 at checkout for free tickets for anyone with KPS. It's going to be a special event, a family-friendly event. And finally, just a reminder that on May 5th is Election Day for the KRESA Special Ed Millage Renewal. Voting in person is 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. that day. Absentee ballots can be submitted until April 30th. There is factual information, FAQ, and other things on KRESA's website if anyone would like more information.
Okay, this concludes the superintendent's announcements.
Hi, I'm here tonight to recommend the athletic director and assistant principal at Norrix High School. So it is recommended that the board appoint April Rocco to the position of athletic director and assistant principal at Norrix High School. This recommendation completes a thorough process used to select the candidate for this position. The job was posted internally and externally, and all qualified applicants were considered. Interviews were conducted by a team consisting of Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Instruction and Leadership Craig McCain, Principal Chris Aganaga, Dean of Students Stephanie Perry, Assistant Principal Alex Hill, Parent and Teacher Bradley Schmidt, and Athletic Secretary Lisa Akins. Ms. Rocco earned a bachelor's degree in K-12 special education from Central Michigan University, where she also participated in track and field and was a two-time MAC conference champion. She also earned a master's degree in educational leadership from Western Michigan University. Ms. Rocco has been employed with Kalamazoo Public Schools for 27 years. She currently serves as a teacher and assistant athletic director at Norrix High School. During her career at Kalamazoo Public Schools, she has served as a special and general education teacher at Washington Writers Academy and Millwood Middle School, and a CTE teacher academy instructor at Norrix. She was also the athletic director at Millwood Middle School for 10 years. Ms. Rocco also has coaching experience in volleyball, basketball, and track and field.
Is there any discussion from the board? Trustee, I need a motion.
I enthusiastically support this this position for Ms. Rocco.
I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion from Trustee Scholler-Barber with a second from Trustee Johnson and Trustee McGlynn. Trustee Johnson. Yes. Trustee Scholler-Barber.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Payton.
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
And I say yes. Trustee Murphy.
Thank you. As we've been discussing at the last several school board meetings, as part of the governance committee, we are reviewing our existing policies. Tonight, I just wanted to do a second reading of the names of the policies that have previously been approved but not added to our policy book online. Those policies are Policy 3.2, non-discrimination, Policy 8.1, equal employment opportunity, Policy 8.2, hiring, and Policy 8.4, staff evaluation. We may have one more committee meeting this year, but we will definitely bring back more policies next year.
Thank you. Miss Susan O'Connor, would you please come address the board?
I turned it off. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Susan O'Connor. I'm a parent of 2 KPS students, and I'm a public librarian. Last spring, I created a petition to staff KPS school libraries that almost 1,000 community members signed. At the time, Parkwood and Winchell were slated to not have library staffing this year due to school budget constraints. And in the petition, I wanted to raise the awareness about the need to staff all our libraries, not only Parkwood and Winchell, but also Washington and Woodward, which had been unstaffed. First, I want to thank you all and district leaders for supporting school libraries and finding a solution to staffing these 4 school libraries this year. It's my understanding that kids in these 4 schools had access to their libraries every other week because the libraries were staffed by central administration employees. So thank you for finding a solution to this for this year. I want to follow up on this topic and ask that the district ensures that all school libraries are staffed going forward. From attending my child's PTO meeting recently, it is my understanding that these 4 schools that are staffed by central staff this year, the schools will need to budget again for their library assistants next year. As was seen by the outpouring of support for KPS school libraries last spring through the petition, our community values and wants staffed school libraries so that kids have regular, reliable access to the books and resources of the library. I also think it would be good to consider funding and standardizing the school library staffing centrally rather than have it be a line item in individual school budgets that is potentially on the chopping block every year. As it stands now, some elementary students get weekly library access while other schools visit every other week. And I can only estimate that will be the same next year. The district should ensure that every library is staffed and ideally that all students have weekly access. It would also be wonderful to aim to staff more certified school librarians. These positions are educators who have a teaching certificate and also an advanced school librarian certification. School librarians are educated professionals trained to guide students' reading and research skills, and the teaching and practice of evaluating information is needed in our world now more than ever. Our KPS school libraries are wonderful and filled with excellent books our kids love. Growing a child's reading is a multi-pronged endeavor, and one element that grows kids' reading is allowing them to be immersed in books of their choosing, which is possible by providing regular library access. So I ask that you please continue to support our school libraries and require the staffing of all our school libraries. And on one additional topic, I'd like to encourage the district to work towards providing busing for students at Interfaith to Hillside. Providing busing up to 1.4 miles at the secondary level would allow interfaith students to have a safe, reliable means of getting to school, and I'm sure would increase attendance. And I'm wondering if the attendance statistics for these students have been looked at. I believe providing busing for 0.1 mile more would make a big difference. So thank you for considering both.
Thank you. Ken Greshek.
My name is Ken Greshak. I am here today on behalf of the Kalamazoo Community Foundation, which was the recipient through an estate of the home at 918 Nichols Road. Thought the board might be interested in a little bit of the story. The home was owned by Fred Dutton. Fred Dutton was a lifelong resident whose quiet generosity and deep intellectual curiosity left a lasting mark on his community. Born on September 2nd, 1940 in Kalamazoo, Fred was a graduate of Otsego High School and went on to earn master's degrees in both organic chemistry and accounting from The Ohio State University. He began his career as a chemist with the G.D. Searle Company before returning to Michigan to join the Upjohn Company, where he spent 3 decades and ultimately retired from Pharmacia. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Fred was deeply devoted to family, becoming the primary caretaker for his mother, who passed in 2020 at the age of 113. Fred's passions extended far beyond the laboratory. A member of the Kalamazoo Astronomical Society, he built an observatory in his backyard and spent countless hours studying the night sky. He enjoyed golf, photography, playing the piano, and researching his family's genealogy. This is where it gets good. Through his estate, Fred established the Fred E. Dutton Science Education Scholarship Fund at the Kalamazoo Community Foundation to support future generations of students, our students. The scholarship is designed to assist local students who pursue degrees in mathematics or science education and commit to becoming teachers, with preference given to those demonstrating both academic achievement and financial need. It reflects Fred's belief not only in the importance of science, but in the vital role educators play in shaping future generations. Fred's home at 918 Nichols Road, as we know, located beside King Westwood Elementary, now plays a meaningful role in that legacy. The sale of this property to KPS, the $350,000, will fund his scholarship. And it's a fitting tribute, one that connects Fred's lifelong love of learning with the future of education in our community. The scholarship fund is an endowment. It will live forever. It will probably create upwards of $15,000 to $16,000 per year of scholarships available to our students. Fred passed away on January 23rd, 2025, but his legacy will continue through the students and educators who benefit from his generosity for years to come. Collectively at the foundation, we were thrilled of the serendipity connection with Fred, his scholarship, and the sale of the property to KPS. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other people requesting to address the board, seeing the professional development request for trustees, comments by trustees. Trustee Shola Barber.
Sure. I'll just follow on Mr. Grayshek's comments that it is fitting that this is coming to KPS and that it will keep Fred's memory alive. I have a little bit of sports news, and that is this is coming from Kalamazoo Central. Men's volleyball is off to a promising start. Girls soccer beat Lakeshore for the first time in 18 years. Varsity baseball is doing well with a 6-3 record. We host the JT Long Track Meet next Friday. We currently have 14 schools that will be in attendance. KC will host the regionals and quarterfinals for baseball this year on June 6th. And then from Norrix, the Norrix track and field teams have set 2 school records so far this season. Senior Jalen Monton has jumped 6 feet 10 inches to break a 50-year-old record set in 1976. Junior Allison Frankfurt pole vaulted 10 feet 6 inches to break the school record that was set in 1999. The teams will host the annual Don Lukens, and Don Lukens gave great amounts of help to KPS as a track coach. The Don Lukens Invitational tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. 24 teams are scheduled to attend. The finals will begin at approximately 3 o'clock. The Knights look forward to hosting the baseball and softball district tournaments this year starting May 26th and the baseball regionals starting on June 3rd. And I just have one more thing, a shout out to CIS, who had an outstandingly successful year this year. And as Superintendent Slade had said, Mr. Rocco had definitely been given great honors, but also the 2026 CIS Kalamazoo Staff Recognition Award went to Phil McIntyre, who has done a great amount of work at Maple Street. And then Jim Cupper was given the 2025 Gulner Hussein Volunteer Award, and he does great work at Edison Elementary. And then the Dieter Heineke Promise of Excellence Award, which is a very prestigious and a hard-to-attain award, was given to the People's Church of Kalamazoo, and that was for their work at Lincoln's with their newcomers program. So it was a great year for CIS, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee McGlynn.
I have the privilege of sitting on the Pretty Lake board, and I just wanted to announce that Pretty Lake is a free camp for the summer, and many of our students go to Pretty Lake. They have for years and years and years. Matter of fact, this is the 110th anniversary of Pretty Lake. But applications are open. The in-post serves kids that are 8 years old to 12 years old. The outpost is for kids between 13 and 15. So I'm really going to encourage our families you just go onto the Pretty Lake website and you can put in your application for Pretty Lake. Bonus this year, there is a new swimming slide. So that's going to be exciting for the kids. So hopefully we'll get the camps full this year. And then I also just wanted to say, wow, what a great connection this is. What a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ken. And I'm just so excited about how that has all worked out. It's very exciting. So thank you.
Trustee Johnson.
Oh, honestly, I didn't have much. Just grateful. It's the end of the school year, so it's a lot of things that's going on. The kids are getting restless. The teachers too. We are counting down to summer break. Some of us counting down to the day we can go to concerts. Everybody was really serious about that. Usher Raymond and Breezy, getting the tickets for that. But I want us to remain focused, because this is where we can lose a lot of people too. Because you get antsy, it get nice outside, and then nobody wants to come out to do the things that need to be done. Really, that's it. I am excited to see things connect. I did not know anything about Mr. Dutton. I'm excited because that is legacy, right? And that means a lot in this community. So I'm extremely excited to see it come to fruition while I'm here. Yeah.
Trustee Payton. Trustee Payton.
Yes. I just want to thank the Kalamazoo Public Schools for allowing me to attend the National School Boards Association. And one thing that we all know is that good professional development has a follow-up. It's not just good for a one shot thing. So, as a result of that, they are doing a literacy virtual meeting. And I know we've been talking about literacy and ways to improve it a lot in our district. So, I am going to be taking that virtually. So, thank you.
Trustee Murphy.
Thank you. I also attended the National School Board Association conference. San Antonio was a learning experience of itself. I enjoyed it because I like learning. So I did want to thank everyone for that opportunity. Also, as everyone's speaking about approaching the end of the school year, a lot of colleges and universities in the state are having their finals this week, and students are moving home. And I cannot wait to take a nap on Monday. Reminder that one of our art schools, Maple Street, is having Matilda the Musical this weekend. That is April 23rd through 25th at 7 p.m., with an additional performance April 26th at 2 p.m. That will be at Case Central High School Auditorium. $7 for adults, $5 for students, purchased at the door, cash only. And also, with the weather warming up, Little League is starting very soon. I just got an email about that. Remember that it is only practice during the week, games on the weekend. So if you're looking for something to do, every Little League in the Kalamazoo Public School District does offer scholarships. So please do not hesitate to ask. And again, with the weather, in my little neighborhood that does not have a lot of traffic, there have been at least twice as many near misses this week between the nice cars, the classic cars, and the motorcycles. So I hope everyone is safe, and thank you.
Trustee Hill.
I too was able to attend the Champ celebration, and you know what? They're right. They wrote it right here: an unforgettable event that will fill your heart. So that was wonderful to see last night. And then I went to the First Day Shoe Fund last week, which I learned a lot. Over the 20 years, it was a 20-year celebration. They have given out close to 800,000 pairs of shoes. And they started with one person noticing that students needed shoes 20 years ago, and then that built upon that. There are other First Day Shoe Funds around the country, and some of them, I don't think they, so that's not just the single idea that's happened here in Kalamazoo, but they now give shoes countywide. So I thought that was very interesting. Also, spring sports are taking place. I've caught some women's lacrosse games, and I have some newspaper things. Okay, yes, I still get a newspaper, people, in paper. And so a couple of our students were honored for the Division I basketball. Davier, that's it, I got it. Davier White at Kalamazoo Central, Yasha Theodore at Kalamazoo Central, and Decarius Frazier at Phoenix are Division I. I really don't know what that means, but I thought it was really neat. They were in the paper, and their pictures were in the paper also. And of the newspaper, last board meeting 2 weeks ago, a young student from Maple Street spoke up about the crossing from Merrill to he's a student at Maple Street from Merrill, and then they cross into the field up to the school, and he was worried about it. And his parents other people were worried about it, and they have plans for a road diet for the school crosswalk. Improvements get a fast track. So the parents brought it to the city, and the city put it on the fast track to straighten out that situation. So I thought that was really neat. And what was really neat is a sixth grader came and spoke in front of the board. He had the oomph to do that, and he was not afraid, and he did a great job. Also, the Kalamazoo Foundation has a lot of really interesting scholarships, so students really should look into those. I loved perusing them. My dad was a firefighter. There's literally a first responder, and it doesn't matter how far back, scholarship doesn't matter how far back it goes in your generation. My kids could have gotten it because my dad, because their grandpa was a fireman. So there's some really neat offerings out there. And the All-City Track Meet is May 21st. They're looking for volunteers, I hear. That's all I have.
So I don't have too many things. I also want to thank the community for allowing me the opportunity to attend the National School Board Association's annual conference, I have been on a personal mission to figure out ways to make the student experience more enjoyable. And so most of my sessions that I attended was on parent and community engagement. One of the other things that I had the privilege of doing yesterday, yes, it was yesterday, was attending the Parents Support Coalition, which is a small group that meets once a month. And I want to give them a special shout out for the intentional work that they are doing in bringing the parent voice to the forefront of the needs of the district. So those are my two things that I have. The superintendent doesn't have anything. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. I have a motion to adjourn this meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. With that being said, this meeting is adjourned and we will see you the next meeting is May 7th at 7 p.m.